So, has an alien signal been detected from space? That's what this video is about. And, caveat, we're also going to cover faster than light communication, because apparently that is also a thing. And we might be communicating with aliens right now. Those are the questions we're going to get to in this video. Let's go. All right, so Simon Holland, who I've had on the show a couple times before, has talked about this signal. It's called BLC-1. It's from the Breakthrough Listen Project, which is basically a project to search for extraterrestrial life, right? Like SETI. And they detected a signal many, many years ago, right? And basically came to the conclusion that it was human interference. Let's put it that way, right? But Simon Holland has an inside source that tells him that this is an alien signal, that they've looked at it again and determined that there's a technosignature and potentially a biosignature, right? And that they're hesitating to basically make this announcement to the public, right? So we're going to dive in and kind of break this all down, right? And Breakthrough Listen Project has responded to Simon Holland, and I'll have that as well. So first, let's start with kind of the story, exactly what happened roughly 5 years ago. In 2019, Australia's Parkes Radio Telescope took a look at our closest neighbor, Proxima Centauri, in order to study stellar flares. The next year, an intern at the Breakthrough Listen Project at Oxford University, which aims to search for evidence of life beyond Earth, found an unusual signal in the data, which persisted for several hours. There were reasons to be a little excited about the signal, while also plenty of reasons to be skeptical. We have suggested plenty of candidates for alien signals in the past, from the WOW signal to potential heat signatures from Dyson spheres. As much as we would all like it to be aliens, so far, natural explanations have always been found for such phenomena. Example, hot dogs. Wait, what? Hot dogs? What are they talking about? They're not talking about these hot dogs, are they? Let's look it up. A hot, dusty, obscured galaxy, or hot dog, is a rare type of quasar. Oh, okay. Well, wait, what's a quasar? A quasar is an extremely luminous active galactic nucleus, AGN. It is sometimes known as a quasi-stellar object, abbreviated QSO. Okay, wait a second here. All right, so what's a luminous active galactic nucleus? An active galactic nucleus, AGN, is a compact region at the center of a galaxy that emits a significant amount of energy across the electromagnetic spectrum, with characteristics indicating that this luminosity is not produced by the stars. Such excess non-stellar emissions have been observed in the radio, microwave, infrared, optical, ultraviolet, X-ray, and gamma ray wavebands. A galaxy hosting an AGN is called an active galaxy. Okay, I can't keep doing this, but this is this is crazy. All right, let's get back to what we're looking at. But let's keep active galactic nucleus in the back of our minds for later in the video. Now, the pushback against Simon Holland for his claims here have been rather harsh, to be honest. The Breakthrough Listen Project put out a statement addressing these claims. The Listen team continues to observe many nearby stars, including Proxima Centauri, with a variety of facilities, but there have been no redetections or other developments with respect to BLC-1, which alter the conclusions in our 2021 publications. And a YouTuber that goes by the name Dr. Becky put out a video as well, kind of, I'll be honest, not being too nice to Simon and this whole thing.
It is time to take out the trash, because this month there was yet another fake claim that a big announcement of the discovery of intelligent alien life is imminent from astronomers. And just to be clear, there's not. And I got so mad maybe it's just because this is the tip of the iceberg of so many fake discovery claims that circle the internet, especially when it comes to JWST for some reason, which are all absolute, as the Americans say, trash. Trash, trash, trash. And this week, I have reached my limit, and I'm going to take it all out on BLC-1, Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1.
Trash? Come on, that's a little harsh, Becky, don't you think?
Oh my God, Becky.
A documentary filmmaker claims to have spoken to someone at the University of Oxford who has links with the Breakthrough Listen project, who, yes, are hunting for signs of intelligent alien life in radio astronomy data, and he's claimed that an announcement from Breakthrough and the University of Oxford about BLC-1 is imminent. I'm an astrophysicist at Oxford, and I can tell you that me and my colleagues all laughed so hard at this news report. I mean, I did make sure to email my colleague Dr. Steve Croft, who's the project scientist for the Breakthrough Listen project, and just double check, BLC-1, you definitely concluded that was radio interference, didn't you? And he was like, yes, we did.
I don't know. That seemed a little too far to me to say that from her, but, regardless, everyone's allowed their opinion. And, yeah, it's just how it is. But, look, not everyone has been as dismissive, because Simon Holland reached out to Nick Pope and got an interesting statement from him, an email in particular that Simon released in a video about this.
Simon, here are some thoughts, which you're free to quote in whole or in part. If a radio signal has been found, the scientific protocol would be to verify it and then publish the data. While not legally binding, the SETI Institute's Declaration of Principles concerning the conduct of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence is the document that most people engaged in this type of research would look to. I don't believe that the US presidential election or the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East or Ukraine have a bearing on the timescale. One factor that might have a bearing on timing relates to a scenario where the assessment is that we're looking at not just a signal, but a message, or a vast amount of information, an Encyclopedia Galactica, for example. In this scenario, it would be prudent to have a go at decoding the message before making an announcement, in case it contains a truth too terrible to be told. It's just speculation, of course, but suppose there's information that states life on Earth was created by an extraterrestrial civilization as a science experiment. But the experiment has been deemed a failure and is about to be terminated. One can imagine other scenarios too, where a degree of caution might be called for before dumping all the data into the public domain. Nick Pope.
And so that's interesting, right? There's a lot to break down there that we're not going to in this video, but please feel free to leave your comments about that, right? Maybe the reasons why they're not telling us are interesting, but I don't know, a truth too terrible to be told? Maybe, I guess. Regardless, Nick went on the All Things Unexplained podcast, which I've been on myself, so shout out to them. And they asked Nick Pope about this, and here was his response.
Now, before I start all sorts of panic and conspiracy
we
theories,
don't want to do that.
I am hypothesizing here. I want to make that very, very clear.
Yeah.
However, the point is, if disclosure was easy to do, it would have been done by now. So the question then becomes, why hasn't it been done? And one of the possible answers is because part of the story is a truth too terrible to be told. But one could, hypothesize what might that dark side be? Because look, if the President of the United States went on TV this evening and said, "My fellow Americans, people of the world, we're not alone," that cannot be classified in and of itself. So there must be something else, some part of the story that makes it difficult. What if planet Earth is just a science experiment? We're created by extraterrestrial civilization, 1 billion years older than us. The experiment's a failure and they're about to pull the plug. What if simulation theory is true?
Right.
What if there are really gods and devils and angels and demons? And what if what's interacting with us is demonic? What if planet Earth is a farm and we're being harvested for something? Our blood, our DNA, our souls, if you believe in that.
Right.
All these ideas are out there.
Now, let's get to Simon Holland talking about Now let's get to Simon Holland talking about faster than light communication, right? Basically this sort of quantum tunneling. Now he has a contact that he interviewed and then changed the voice into AI and put out this little video here, this little clip, and there's more to it. I'm going to put a link down in the description, but I'm going to play you a short part of it so you can kind of understand, what they're talking about. And it also addresses the signal one last time, right? So let's play it.
So I'm going to let the senior radio telescope European administrator tell you what's going on. What they say is truly fascinating and very revealing of why. So I've used an AI voice to change his, or maybe her voice.
Everyone has heard of SETI, but fewer folk know about METI. Numerous times we've sent messages to different star systems, but this is obviously with light-speed communication. This all happened before Professor Nimitz, from the Second Physical Institute of the University of Cologne, discovered the quantum tunnel effect of faster-than-light communication. His first disclosure of a quantum tunnel effect was his waveguide experiment, and a lot of people said, "Oh, it's total rubbish. You've just got the effect of parameter 22 causing this effect," and others said, "You're just measuring it wrong." So Nimitz had to redesign his experiment in a free field with a larger distance between transmitter and receiver. What he built was 2 feed horns through a large room in his laboratory. The tunneling section was basically multiple thick plexiglass sheets. And the more sheets he added, the longer was the tunnel effect would need to be. The signal should have taken a known time to pass through the plexiglass, but instead, there was no delay. The signal left the transmitter and arrived at the receiver at the same time. That's when Nimitz got together with the SETI community. Nimitz's quantum faster-than-light communication technology went on to being used on radio telescopes, firstly to listen for zero-time alien communications, and also to transmit zero-time communications. This has not been made public, and Nimitz's process disappeared from the internet because some people didn't want it to be open to the public. You'll find some references of it on the internet, but they're extremely well hidden.
Wow, that was really mind-blowing. Not only did it explain why SETI and other organizations are reluctant to release early data, but according to my source, and you heard what he said, quantum, faster-than-light communication for listening and possibly talking already exists.
All right, so I've got an announcement for you. I will be having Simon Holland on later this week. So please subscribe to the channel and make sure you come back so you can be notified when it's posted. It will be in this next coming week here, and we'll be able to address some concerns, ask some questions, get some more feedback. But it sounds like more than anything that the public statement is there's nothing going on here, while meanwhile Simon has contacts telling him there is. They just don't want to make it public. They hold the reservations. They want to make sure they cross all the T's, dot all the I's before they put out this massive statement that would change humanity forever. And I got to admit, I'm okay with that. Let's triple dog check, if that's the term, right? What is going on before we release any sort of statement that, confirming that we're not alone. I'm okay with making sure that that's right before they put out that statement. So it sounds like it's more just, think what you want, make up your own mind. And, do you find Simon credible? I like Simon. I do find him credible. So I think it's just a matter of waiting and seeing, right? I mean, eventually we'll know if this is true or not, right? Maybe he is being fed misinformation. I doubt it, but maybe he is. Who knows? I don't know. Right, so we can have Simon on and we can talk to him, which I'm going to super enjoy because he's such a great guy. Now, let's get back to just faster than light quantum tunneling, communication, which he's brought up before on my show. But that this is possible, right? What do y'all think? This is kind of crazy. Has this been suppressed, right? And they just want to keep it for themselves and not let the rest of the world at it? We find this signal, we can then speak to them, right? Have we been speaking with BLC-1? It's kind of the implication. I don't know. But I find this fascinating if true, right? Now, we also have to look at, the other side of the coin, which is this. It could be nothing, right? It could be, like we looked up earlier, it could be a hot dog, right? This sort of cloud dust in the sky that is mimicking and interfering with radio waves, because it said it did that, right? Or possible. So maybe that's what they're reading. Who knows, right? It could be what they thought. I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns here. And the problem is the behind the scenes and what gets told to us about what's happening behind the scenes. There's a line there, a grayish area, right? We don't know. So anyway, I think this is fascinating. I look forward to talking to Simon this week. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date, and look forward to that conversation. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll see you next time, vetters. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.